Hello everyone. Now it's time to make our characters spin. So we have our sack project. I've gone ahead and erased all the pencil, adjusted the contrast of the image before I brought it into Adobe Animate to lighten it up. And now I've brought it onto the stage and shrunk it down to fit onto the stage. And from this point on, now we can go ahead and we can begin working to bitmap the artwork so that it can be colored and then placed in space for the spin. So let's go ahead and first bitmap our image. I'm going to go ahead and go to, again, modify, bitmap, trace bitmap, and I'll use my settings that are preset in there. Say OK. Everything is pixelated as we should expect it to be. I'm going to click off to the side. And now I'm going to go ahead and just use the white arrow and select inside the area where all the sacks are and hit delete key. Okay, so most of it is deleted, which is fantastic. So I'll click off the side here, delete this, and now I just go around and clean up a little bit of the residue that is left behind from the grayscale. And that's one of the benefits of cleaning up your photo if you don't have a scanner to come in and clean up your photo before you bring it into Adobe Animate. That way, when you do the bit mapping, you get a much cleaner, much quicker, much easier to take care of image. So I've got very little here that I'm going through and cleaning up. And I'm literally just left click, drag a box around it, select it, and delete it. Now, if I wanted to go back in and use the eraser tool, I certainly can go back and use the eraser tool and go around and grab it, do some erasing. If I wanted to see where I've got extra things, I could select the white arrow, go back in and left click and drag a box around the whole object, and I can see just little bits here and there of things that I want to get rid of. So I can go ahead and get rid of those right now. And again, collect that little that eraser, but I'm going to make the eraser a little larger. So after I select it, I can go back over here on the right side here. And I can select this over here, and I can come back in and just go back in like so, and erase some of these little objects. I can make that eraser a little bigger, and come back in and erase all these little things that I have. There you go, a couple of things here and there. Not too much. Oops. Don't want to cut off kind of his little tush there. There you go. And select that right off there. There we go. Got most of those little things all taken care of. So now we want to talk about the coloring inside of the object itself. We want to talk about the coloring inside of the character. So first thing I want to go ahead and do is with my character here is I want to pick a nice sack color. So I'm going to go to my color picker and I'll pick a color that I want to use for this. Let's see, maybe a pale green, mossy green, maybe some kind of a greenish color. I kind of like that idea. Kind of a green, but I'm going to go back and change it a little bit. So I'm going to go back into that green and hit that little box here, which is change, just open up my color picker. And I can go with something a little bit mossy or grayish. Yeah, there we go. Nice kind of a dirty green there. Say OK. And now I can go back in with my paint bucket and I can just drop that color right inside. Right there. And the only place it's not going into are those little gaps or little spaces. So for those, I go to Command plus and zoom in a little bit. Make sure the tip of that triangle on the paint bucket is inside of those spaces to go and hit those little areas, those little residual areas that have some need for coloring. So again, I can go back in and color these little things. And then again, if you want to be able to color your characters, color your objects inside of another program, you are more than welcome to. You know, if you have a Procreate, if you have a favorite go-to program that you use for coloring to speed up the process, perfectly fine with that. I'm just showing you, again, Adobe Animate, just as a way to say that, hey, you can do it. If you don't have another program, this program will take care of that for you. Okay, it will go ahead and allow you to go back in and do that coloring that you need to do for your character. So I got my little sack there, and moving this around, almost done coloring my little guys here, and there and there. So everything is colored. All right, so I zoom back out again, Command minus. I pull back out, and there's all my little sack. Now what I need to do, though, is I need to go ahead, and all my sacks are the same size. They all will fit inside the stage, which is great. But what I need to do right now is I need to go back in, and I need to select each one individually and then I need to group them and lock them together. So I'm going to go ahead and use my selection tool here, and left click and drag a box just around the first one here, and then go Command G, and then move him off to the side. So there's number one, right? And then I'll go and select the next one here, and click a little, drag a little box around him, and we go Command G, and move him off to the side. Next one, Command G, repeat the process until we have all of our characters, number one, removed from the stage, number two, grouped separately so that the fill and the stroke do not get pulled off. Okay, and the last one over here, Command G, and that's going to be my last one, my back one. All right, so I have my little frames here, guys, and so I'm good to go. So I can click on those independently, kind of move those up, right? Have those guys all there. All right, so now to go ahead and get myself started here, this will be our first little video here, and I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go ahead and get to this point where you have your characters all lined up, everything's set up and ready to go. And when I come back for the next video, we'll go ahead and we'll talk about making the spin happen.